When you travel the world for a year, you see and experience so much, and we want to share our daily travels with you. Unfortunately, a hard drive failure means we have to tell the middle a little bit differently. So, welcome to Storytime with the Happy Hoppies in this edition of the Lost Episodes.
Welcome to Macedonia!
Country number
36! Woo!
Had to think there for a second. Is it 36? Yep. So we just took a 4-hour bus ride from Sofia, Bulgaria to Skopje, Macedonia. And along that bus route, the bus unfortunately did not have a functioning bathroom. Either there was a bathroom in the bus and just wasn't working, or there just absolutely wasn't a bathroom. Either way, we kept running into that in like that part of Europe.
That was where we had some change. It was like a mix of like Euro and Bulgarian or whatever it was, but it was like a mix of a couple different currencies. Like I gave it to the lady like, I gotta use the bathroom really bad. Can I please go? Take my money. They had a guard by the door and you couldn't get in unless you paid your fee.
And we get to Skopje and we are walking from the bus station to the apartment that we rented for 2 nights. I remember it was such a beautiful sunny day, and I mean, I think that honestly has a lot to do with it. The weather, like first impressions. Skopje felt like an underrated city. I had never heard of Skopje before, and it was gorgeous.
It was amazing. They had recently, like in the last few years, been working on renovating the downtown area.
Yep.
So there's these really cool bridges with all these statues, and just the central plaza area with that huge statue of Alexander the Great.
I think it was probably the largest statue that we saw like our entire time. I don't know, like it was just so grand.
Yeah, it was really well done, pretty new, so it was in really good condition. Had all these cool little statues at the base of it, all these like soldiers. But anyway, the reason that was there is because apparently Macedonia likes to claim that they are where Alexander the Great is from and where he was born. But if you look up on like Wikipedia, it says that Alexander the Great was born in Pella, Macedon. But, you know, later on when the borders changed for Macedonia and Greece, you know, things change over time with empires that expand and then come back and all this stuff. So anyway, if you actually look where Pella is, it's technically in modern day Greece now.
So Greece claims him and Macedonia still claims him, so apparently, it's still actually a pretty big argument.
Yeah, I think it's actually a heated argument apparently still between the two countries, which is really interesting.
But a famous person was born in Skopje, Macedonia, and that is Mother Teresa. And so they had a Mother Teresa house there and a statue, and that was really cool.
Yeah, like all these little things of this place that we had never heard of before.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard of Mother Teresa, right? So.
In 2011 is when I saw a lot of signs that the bridges had been built. So there was this river, and then they had bridges going across to different buildings. One, I believe, was like an art museum. Going to the art museum, they had different statues of famous artists in Macedonia. And then one was like a science museum. They had statues of different scientists. And so it was just like really well thought out, and it was amazing. Like we were just like, where are we? And honestly, yeah, we didn't do like a lot of research, you know, as we were going, just because we were moving at such a fast pace. But sometimes it was so great because it was such a great surprise.
Yeah, you don't have the expectations going in.
Yeah, because sometimes you can go to a place, you've done all this research, you have the expectations, you get there, and then it's not as great as maybe you imagined. So this place, you know, we didn't really have many expectations. We get there, we're like, this is amazing. And even though it was so sunny that day, we were kind of rushing through a little bit because we had a Skype conversation scheduled with my family who was having a late Thanksgiving. So we got to Skype with them that evening.
And then our hotel that we got was absolutely amazing too.
Yes, we stayed in an apartment and it was $36 a night, and it was this gorgeous apartment, had an amazing kitchen.
And when we made the reservation on Expedia, I had taken screenshots because I'm like, oh, it looks like it could be like several different rooms for the rate that we paid. So I'm taking screenshots of this. And I think I even messaged the hotel and said, hey, this is what we want. Can we have this room, please? It was amazing. Like really wide open, like living room area. Had like a little balcony you can go out onto and enjoy the rooftop views around the city. And it was only $36. I mean, it was amazing. Like Skopje is one of the most underrated cities in Europe.
Saturday night we did some grocery shopping because we had this amazing kitchen to cook in. And so Sunday we relaxed, we watched some online church, did a little bit of work, and then we were trying to get a free walking tour, and we actually stopped at an ATM to pull out some local currency to be able to have as a tip, because even though free walking tours you are, supposed to still tip. So we did that, but then we got there, and apparently we were the only ones that had RSVP'd via the text, and we RSVP'd kind of late, and so he just wasn't coming, so that's okay. So we actually didn't get the free walking tour, and in fact, we never ended up doing a free walking tour in Europe. We heard all about it, but we never ended up doing it, and so that was the time.
A lot of times we were just rushing through so fast. We didn't want to necessarily take 3 to 4 hours to see a small section of the city when we could probably cover even more of the city if we were only there for one day. So yeah, a lot of times it's just we were trying to move so fast we didn't take the time to do it.
Yeah.
But if you have the time, they are usually great things. Every once in a while, like when we're doing our own sightseeing, we'll be somewhere taking pictures and we'll see the group and we'll hear the guy talking and we'll listen in, catch a few tidbits that are pretty fun and good to know.
Because you get that local perspective, and then you get some more of the local history and things like that. So because we were already there, we were waiting at the walking tour spot, and then he didn't show up. We just did some more touring that day on our own.
Loved exploring the big plaza and the modern kind of downtown area. But then you just cross over the bridge to the other side, and all of a sudden you're in kind of an older part of the city, older town. They had this really cool mosaic, and it was just fun walking along, like all these little shops and the older streets over there. It was really cool, and just to be able to walk across the river from one side to the other, from the older to the new, it was a lot of fun. Just really cool place to explore. It just felt really neat, clean, safe, modern. A lot of cool museums if we were there for longer, and more museum people that we could have explored. And maybe we go back sometime, maybe we will.
It was so amazingly laid out and designed and easy to explore. Just the whole atmosphere of it was a really awesome city, and definitely one that if it's not on your bucket list to explore in Europe, I would definitely add it.
It's still fun to go see, the differences between seeing the city in the daytime and then seeing it at nighttime when you have the lights out. So if the city's safe and you can do that, good thing to do. They had a big T-Mobile building, so hey, we were using T-Mobile. We had great coverage and reception while we were there.
Yeah, we really did, so there you go. And then so that evening, we got back to the apartment and I made some hard-boiled eggs because the next morning we had an early morning bus ride to the next country.
And at this point, it was colder where we were, so we're like ready to go south, and the next country does get nice and warm again.
Yeah, exactly. All right, see you in the next video.